Cosplay World. This is Knives Rant number 10. Yay! I'm on 10. We're going to be talking about cardboard today. It's a very common material for cosplayers to use. It's everywhere. It's free, if not, well, it's cheap if not free. So everyone uses it. It's not hard to use. You usually need scissors, maybe hot glue. You can use almost any kind of glue on this. Any kind of store-bought glue. It takes well to most of them with this porous surface. It does not take well to screws because it's a light material. It'll rip right through this. Yeah. I don't like this as a surface material, but as a support material, it's awesome. Maybe you don't need MDF all the time. You just need something to hold a light piece of prop work or jewelry or something. And you're like, I don't want to pay the money for these wooden materials, and I don't want to work hard. I want to use the easy stuff. Use this. This is for all the inside stuff that no one will ever see. Although I will be going over how to joint it well enough to be used in its own right. A lot of the time, people will just take a bit of cardboard and they'll make a butt joint. Just put each piece right up against each other. The problem I have is that you'll see the corrugation when they glue these two bits together, making it painfully obvious that it's cardboard. And this is a really hard, it's something that can be easily avoided if you know what to do. And it can be hard to fill in all those holes and annoying, and you have to use other materials. It's more work for you. I don't want to do more work. I have to. What I like to do is, with a piece of cardboard, I'll rip up some of this corrugation on one side. Yeah, just rip it on up and then tear it on out. You see how I've got a flap here? I tore out some of the corrugation. And what we're going to do with that flap is we're going to line that up with our cardboard, and then we're going to cut away once it's glued down, we're going to cut away the excess. So we got a nice square joint, and we don't have that nasty bit of air pockets in there. Alright? So when you're making cardboard, you get rid of those air pockets by leaving a flap over the edge. Now, another thing I see a lot of people do is to do bending. Yeah, no nap time. No, you can't be on a map right now. I'm busy. That's my cat, my girlfriend's cat, Kai. Anyway, I see people do this, and these are kind of hard curves. They're not exactly the best thing. What I like to do is take my box cutter on the back of a piece, on the back of the curve I'm going to make. I'm going to cut down the inside of the corrugation. Where it is, let's see. There we go. I'll just run my scissors down the back here. See, I've cut these little slits in there. And what that does is it alleviates the pressure from the back plate, allowing for a considerably smoother curve. Isn't that wonderful? That's so much smoother than this. Look at that. Look, I hope you guys can tell the difference. Yeah, so much smoother. Yeah. Typically, what you'll use to joint these pieces of cardboard together is hot glue. You'll just, take the two pieces that are small. Yeah, explain this. Yeah. Right. You see, I'm not actually gluing any of this, because this is just a basic, I don't know. Anyway, they go together. Imagine they're together. You're going to go along the inside edge, and you're going to put quite a lot of this glue in there to reinforce the joint. But to make a joint really, really strong, you're going to take and put a reinforcing joist. You can just cram that on in there. There you go. And then you're going to glue that all up, and that allows for more surface area, transfers the weight to the face of the other cardboard rather than just the surface that you're sticking it to. Much stronger, much stronger. In fact, you can go with a big piece instead of just filling in a corner. You can make a whole plate so that it transfers to the other side of the material rather than just a bit. Anyway, I'm sure you'll get the idea. If you don't, leave me a comment. I'll be happy to explain in more detail as to how to reinforce it. Like I said, this stuff makes for great hidden reinforcement because it's so light and it's cheap, if not free. So I don't know. If you're going to use this as a base material and cover it with something prettier like foamies or fabric or even another sheet material like MDF, you might as well just use that material or use one of the other materials I've described in earlier videos, because you're not saving money, you're using the other material, and there are cheaper ways to do it. If you were to cover this with, say, fabric, you could probably get away with painted MDF or PVC or even foam board. Foam board is probably the same price at that point. What else? Hot glue. You're gonna have to watch out with hot glue and also Wonderflex. So you gotta watch. If you watch these videos, I'll go into other materials. So don't just watch one video and think that I covered everything. I definitely have not covered everything. I'm only covering the basics. But Wonderflex melts and hot glue melts at a low temperature. This means if you leave it in your car or in your trunk for an extended period of time on a hot day, it's not going to be as sturdy as you'd like. I've seen people pull a prop out of their trunk to have it fall apart and all the sticky strands of the hot glue come apart. I've seen people make, once I saw someone make a kind of muscle man suit, and he glued the fabric together with hot glue and it came apart because it was like 95 degrees that day. Yeah, that was very sad. He did not make a good choice. Well, same thing goes with Wonderflex. I have left a prop in the trunk and just forgot about it and come back to it to be just a brick or a blob of whatever it was before. So, that prop or the armor is gone. Oh well. Didn't throw it away. I kept it, used it to reinforce another joint in another project. Keep your Wonderflex, people. Expensive, you keep it. What else is there? Oh yes. These curves are the ones I prefer, or I should say, yeah, these curves are the ones I prefer because they go with the corrugation. They work with it. If you have to do it, you can work against the corrugation. This is what typically I see. People just kind of say, "Oh well, I'll just bend it." You can do better than that. What you can do is you can run your not a hot knife. Hot knife would be terrible with this. Your scissors or your box cutter along the inside of your bend, and then you can go in and you can cut out the excess. You see if I've already cut out a bit of this excess here, and then boom, you got your internal bend. I guess I could cut out more, but I don't want to spend the time on camera to explain all that. But you get the idea there. You get a much sharper, cleaner bend. Yeah. You do want to be careful though, because you could rip this outside edge. Reinforces with hot glue and all that good stuff. Always reinforces is not a very strong material. Yeah. You're very likely to get this damaged, so reinforce the insides as much as you can. It's super light, so awesome. That's great. What else is there? Yeah, I told you it handles most glues. Doesn't sew very well, but if you have to sew something to this, you want to work on the surface and not the edge because it'll rip right on through. And you want to go against the corrugation. So where's my leather needle? Here's my leather needle. Okay, so yeah, the corrugation is going this way. If I were to make a dotted line along this way and one of these were to rip out, okay, it would make it that much easier for the one next to it to rip out. You want to go against the corrugation. That way it has to rip it through the face of each of these bends in the paper, okay? If you can. Now, let's see. Oh yeah, when you're jointing these together, there is a program out there. I think it's Poketo or something like that. It's a program where you can take paper sculpture and do 3D work with it. Works the same as this. You can cut it out. It works the same with most sheet materials. You can do stuff with acrylic or PVC, but PVC is kind of a waste because you can thermoform it, so you can get nice smooth curves instead of doing the edge work and the darting and all that. So you want to look out for that if you are really stumped on how to make a 3D model of something and you have a really super complex project. But honestly, if you're going to spend money on that program, you can just go out and spend the money on the higher quality material. Unless you just can't sculpt or you can't imagine 3D design, which I understand a lot of people don't have that ability. Sculpting I would usually do with foam. I'm still tiptoeing around foam because it's such a long rant, and I don't want to give you guys a bad rant. Oh well. Yeah, this is some basic tools. It's super cheap. You don't need any kind of real experience to work with this. At least at the beginning. You can do some advanced stuff. I've seen some wonderful kind of game style stuff with this. I have a buddy who did the pixelated Cloud. Yeah, pixelated Cloud with this. Anyway, that's gonna be my 10th rant. If you thought it was good, thought it was bad, thought I'm crazy, want to see more, want to see something in particular, leave me a message and tell me as such. If you like it and all that stuff, hit buttons. There's 20 buttons. Just figure out which buttons you want to hit. I'm going to be putting one of these up a day, each weekday. On the weekends I have other things to do, so I won't be putting those up. I'm still probably, actually, I've come to the conclusion I'm not going to start the full video tutorial of me going through making something until after isnt, because I have isnt things to do. Yay. I'm doing staff and all that good stuff. Plus I've got a group of people that I'm trying to get all of their things straight and make sure everyone's accounted for. Anyway, this has been my rant. I hope you enjoyed it. Good times to all.